Hey everybody, it is Big Mike, the computer dad, joined by Studious Bear, and today we are going to be doing a setup video for what I hope will become my Homelab Proxmox cluster. We got a bunch of equipment to go through. We're going to do a unboxing video slash setup video slash final configuration, or at least V1 of the configuration, because knowing me, I'll change that about 4 or 5 or 15 times before the end of this whole thing, this whole effort. But the goal here is I have a 10-inch 6U rack that I'm going to use for the purpose of setting up my Homelab finally and getting something off the ground with Proxmox. And this is to test various lab scenarios with Active Directory, hybrid Entra-join devices, doing Intune enrollments, doing all kinds of fun stuff that I want to simulate in a lab environment before I go and put it into a production environment and set it up for my clients. This is an opportunity for me to work with some hardware, work with Proxmox, which I've never really worked with before. I've installed it a couple of times, but I never really got it off the ground to do anything with it. And just a cool home project to add to some of the home network stuff that I've done. So join me as I unbox this. I'm excited to get all of this opened and set up and put it all together. Finally, it's been sitting on my desk for a few weeks, so now we're going to get to it. All right, let's dive in. Hi there. All right, we're going to get started with a left to right assessment of everything in this project. First off, the most important, have to do it every time. Low torque specifications on this drill so that we don't over drill pre-drilled holes on the rack mount. But going left to right, PDU, 4 outlets, power switch, 6U, 10-inch rack, 2 shelves, and a pound of blank. We have a 10-inch rack mount keystone panel with the female to female connectors so that we save a little bit of time on crimping and punching down. 3 100-watt power bricks that are going to be powering 3 Dell 3060 Optiplex small form factor PCs using USB-C to 4.5 millimeter power units or power cables. Then I also have a Jet KVM and a GLINet remote KVM. Those are going to be getting used in this lab as well, all receiving power from an APC UPS 600 model. This comes with multiple outlets, battery backup. It also has a USB charger built in. All of that is going directly into a dedicated circuit in my wall that services all of my network equipment already. So that way I don't have to worry about power or battery backup. All of that is covered. So that is everything. And then there's a little Raspberry Pi hanging out right there. Not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. This is the lab. So we'll see. We'll get it all put together. We'll rack it all up and we'll see what comes of it. My goal is to get everything racked up, looking nice, looking neat. And then step 2 would be getting all 3 of those Dells spun up and starting to install Proxmox, getting it set up in a cluster, figuring out just kind of a basic storage situation, VM situation, and taking it from there, just kind of getting it off the ground. All right, let's get to unboxing and setting up. right, we have V1 of the lab rack done. Cable management is underway. It's not perfect, but it is finished, and we're ready to start setting up those Proxmox hosts. I'll eventually get to the other stuff of cleaning it up, making it a little bit more tidy, but for now, it is ready. Let's go switch over to the other camera to take a look at this rack up close and personally. Hello there. All right, we're going to switch over to the rack and take a look at everything that was done tonight. Okay. So at the very top of the rack, I was pleasantly surprised by unboxing the patch panel and seeing that it had the female-to-female adapter. So I didn't have to install those blue Keystone female-to-female couplers that I showed at the beginning of the video. Everything is patched into the Ubiquiti switch. I, on the fly, created a Proxmox VLAN for those 3 servers, as well as the Jet KVM that's going to be connecting to them. And then I'll create the appropriate firewall rules to restrict traffic from all my other networks to the Proxmox network, except for my PC or whatever else I want to connect to. I also have the uplink that's going back into my wall that goes back to my MDF, if you will, where my main switch is. So it trunked up links to the main 48 port switch and then out to the UDM. And then the other blue cable is into my daily driver, my PC in the back here. Then I have the power supply mounted up underneath with some command strips. You can see those 3 100-watt Anchor power supplies. Again, that's USB-C to 4.5mm power cables that are powering those 3 Optiplex 3060 small form factor PCs that are going to be part of that 3-node cluster. And then the Jet KVM sitting right there, nice and neat. There's some cable management and some other stuff that needs to get done here, but for the first run at this, I am happy with it and excited to continue working with this and taking the next step with the Proxmox cluster. And with that, I am done for the evening. It is 11:30. I am tired, and I spent far too long on this. Should have probably gone to bed a while ago, but I wanted to get it done. These boxes were starting to burn a hole in my desk, if you will, because I've been sitting and staring at them saying, no, I'm going to record this video and get it done. Glad that it's finally done. If you have any questions, please leave comments. I intend to leave the entire order list somewhere, either in the video description or in the comments somewhere. But if you have any questions about the build, where I've got materials, or just questions in general, happy to get those answered for you. As always, appreciate anybody watching this. If you happen to feel inclined, like, subscribe, you know the deal. And we will see you on the next one, hopefully with me building the Proxmox hosts on each of these nodes in the cluster. Excited for that learning journey. All right, we'll see you soon.